All right, welcome everybody back. Hopefully, we are a little bit further along in our technical difficulties. So, we're about to enter our Road to Lizard Palooza competition for our open mic tonight, which we're doing this series. This is week 3, and we have one more week. And then we have the finals coming up on June 16th. Which, the winner of that will eventually have a chance, the winner of that finals event will be paid for a 5 to 10 minute set during Lizard Palooza on the 19th through the 21st here at Leaping Lizard in Hilliard, Ohio. So we lost a lot of steam there, and I do apologize. So we need to get the energy back up a little bit. Crickets. All right, just to test to make sure everybody's paying attention. I do a call and response for my name as well as my executive producer's name. So on the count of 3, once I say my name, I want to hear my name, Buster, right back at me, all right? Because I'm a little bit of a narcissist. So 1, 2, 3, Buster. All right, that was respectable. That was very respectable. So there is a little bit of time if you are out there and within, let's say, 20 minutes of the Leaping Lizard in Hilliard, Ohio, which is at the corner of Cemetery and Leap Road in the, what's the complex called? It's the Kroger Plaza. It's got a name. I don't even remember what it is. Hilliard, thank you. Hilliard Square Shopping Center. We are located here, so come down, hang out. There's plenty of parking. And we got some good drinks, and we got a great bartender, Gina. Everybody clap for Gina. And go beyond clapping for Gina and tip her because she is the greatest. We love Gina here. All right, so we're going to get our contest going with our first contestant of the evening. We're going to be voting online. If you're watching online, we're going to be voting here in the bar at the end. You do have to be here to win the gift card, by the way. So without further ado, let's keep things going with our first open mic performer, Sam Gibbs.
Keep it going for Buster Chestnut, everybody. I think Buster needs I think you need a sidekick. Like Fluffer Nutter. There you go. Giving you ideas. What's going on, guys? Anything? Anything new? Nothing new? Frank DeMint's in the house. Frank DeMint, the lisping legend. I was in the Marines and there was a kid that I met, and he had a lisp. And I asked him what job the recruiter gave him, and he said, "I'm a radio operator." And I'm like, "Did Al Qaeda give you that job? Like, you're literally gonna get people killed. That's like, how can you listening to Frank through static would be? Just the whole platoon would get wiped out. There's no way the airstrike's gonna come in at all." All right, what's going on? All right, that sounds good. Let me look what I got here. All right. Yeah, I was in the Marines, and they said pain is weakness leaving the body. I've passed 2 kidney stones. I basically did 3 cycles of steroids. Like, I'm fucking strong as shit. Very strong. Very painful. A lot of weakness left my body. A lot of weakness. Yeah. Now I'm an EMT. I work on an ambulance. We had a woman that was during daylight savings time. She was changing all her clocks, and her grandfather clock fell on top of her. She had to call a squad to get it off of her. Can we just end daylight savings time? Is there Like, do we need any more it's already fucking up my sleep, and now it's trying to kill old ladies. Like, let's get rid of daylight. I don't know what it's for. No one can explain it to me. Arizona doesn't do it. They just said, fuck that. We're not doing it. Which is the only good thing you can say about the state of Arizona, because that place, like, kind of sucks. Like, if we're being honest, there's really no reason anyone should live there. You know what I've noticed is I'm turning into like a Midwest dad. Like, the other day I was eating Oreos, and I at one point just pushed them away and said, I need you to get these away from me. I was like, oh no. I'm turning into my dad. The next step is to just be unemployed, drink vodka, and make all the utilities just disappear. Oh, the lights got shut off. And always do the same, like, lame excuse. I paid those motherfuckers. It's like, no, you didn't. They definitely didn't just shut it off for no reason. What else is going on? Yeah, I'm a Browns fan. I don't want to talk about what happened. I really don't want to talk about it. Being a Browns fan, I think it's correlated with having an alcoholic father. Like, you just have this undying hope that they're going to get it together, and they just always disappoint you just over and over and over again. Myles Garrett's gone. Buster doesn't give a shit. He just wants to find the new Myles Garrett Rams card.
Actually, I had a Jared Verse card that I just sold.
Holy shit. Damn. My parents never bought me any Pokemon cards, and the only baseball cards I had like all of the Montreal Expos, which no one cares about. Is there a market for Montreal Expos?
Not really.
Oh, wow. That's like, yeah. Is it Detroit? Okay. All right. Oh, are you from Detroit? Oh. What's good about Detroit? Like the Tigers, weed. I feel like Detroit is everything that Cleveland is, and then everything that Cleveland wants to be. Like, the Lions go 0-16, and then years later the Browns did it, and it just wasn't as enjoyable. It was just like a shittier version of that Lions season. We didn't have a guy run out the back of the end zone. We just had a guy drop the ball at the last second of the game we should have beat the Steelers in. Juju Smith-Schuster I'm just talking about sports now, guys. I'm just talking about sports. I'm not a baseball fan. Like, they call it America's favorite pastime. Yeah, when? Like, when we had separate water fountains? I mean, it's literally like the last time it was America's favorite pastime. And, like, I was watching it, and there's, like, every time there's a pitch, I can't tell what pitches are what. Like, the guy, and there's, like, someone who identifies what pitches are what. And, like, a curveball goes straight and goes down, I guess. There's, like, guys with dicks that curve. Like, they go straight and then down. I'm like, my dick's like a slider. It's small and smells like onions. Okay, here we go. Got a little titter from that. That was a good titter. Where am I at on time? Is it like where are we? Where are we? We're okay. Okay, minute before the light. What else do I got? I had a pot dealer I used to go to in Whitehall, redneck pot dealer in Whitehall, go figure. And I went over his house to pick up my weed, and he was doing coke for like 3 days. So he was just blitzed. And he starts just telling me, like, I was just wondered what it'd be like to suck a dick. I always wondered what it'd be like if I could, like, deep throat a dick. Like, if I could do it. I'm like, whoa, okay. I didn't expect this to come out, like, now, but it's like, do you think that's, it's like, I'm not gay or nothing. I'm like, no, dude, you're just, curious, whatever. And then Next thing I know, I just get a text from him. He's standing right next to me. I get a text that says, "We could do that now if you want." Just like, whoa. And he didn't have the, like, you know, the gall to actually like ask me just in person. So then, you know, I just found a reason to leave. I just didn't want my first time to be a redneck who didn't know what he was doing. Like, I want it to be like, if it's going to be a redneck, I wanted like that lady from Wild Wonderful Whites of West Virginia who like deep throats the beer bottle. She's like, "That'll be your cock later." It's like, hell yeah, it will. I want that. I'm not gay or nothing. And, you know, just. But anyways, like, you know, I didn't take the offer and I didn't buy weed from him after that, which that was kind of fucked up because that's a really good pot dealer. Like, most drug dealers, you have to like blow to get the drugs. This one will give you the drugs and then blow you. That's great customer service. Free gift with purchase right there. ABC, Alec Baldwin. A always B, B, C closing. No, it's always blow customers. That's the real ABC. And with that, we'll give it to Buster Chestnut, who will blow one all over our faces. Hell yeah.
All right, keep it going for Sam Gibbs, and stay tuned for, you know, like potential podcasts and stuff that he's doing. You know, no reason in particular. Anyway, so we're gonna keep going. This next performer is a first-time open micer here, so we need to give a warm welcome to our friend Elizabeth.
No, I'm a geek. Yeah, a nerd. I bring props. Yeah, I snack on Lucky Charms. He actually is a self portrait of my last boyfriend. Makes me smile. That's where most of my jokes come from. So my name's Elizabeth, and I've been here never doing open mic. So I don't talk about penises because I don't have one, but I do talk about balls because balls are a thing that I can carry every now and then. So hopefully that's something I have tonight. Yeah, because I'm like Eminem. I got one shot. I got like 1 second to like win you over to my beautiful personality, being funny. So I'm an inventor, painter, writer, wannabe jack of all trades, master of none. But I am working on one thing, and that's to stop the hate. And it's called, yeah. It's a major problem. So I invented this ball sack chip clip. It's non evasive, it's interactive, and it stops the hate. Yeah. So anybody that wants to get that patent with me, I'm open game. People will love me for it. Yeah. So I'm supposed to tell you my story about my life. That's the joke. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. I actually live in heaven on Mars. So don't judge me. But that's how I keep my sanity. Yeah, you met me there. So what is sane? So I was at the park the other day, and well, I broke my leg 3 years ago at work when I didn't want to go to work, but I went to work anyway because I'm a team player. It's a downfall I have. And I broke my leg, and if I was a horse, they would have put me down because I did the trifecta. So I'm thankful to be walking. So I'm at the park, and I do these bands around around the tree, right? And my leg doesn't work very well. I have to train it. So I'm doing these bands, and I took a dive. The band broke, and I took a dive. So I went back because I suffer through PTSD, and I went back, and I was on the ground doing it. And this guy comes up to me, and he's like, "Lady, you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. Why?" have you ever seen anybody exercise in the park before? And he's like, oh, okay, just checking. So then he comes back and he goes, are you sure you're okay? I'm like, well, how long have I been here? He said, an hour. I said, haven't you ever seen anybody go to the gym for an hour? And so it was, but the funny part was, through all that, he did not realize that I was sitting in sumac and poison ivy. So that was my bad. I got corrected for exercising in the park, sitting in sumac and poison ivy. I used to not be allergic to it, but now I am. So I like to be uplifting and kid safe at all possible, but I do call names and disclose when needed. So if I want to curse, I'm going to replace it with the words giggly wiggly. So when you hear giggly wiggly, that means it's an explicit. Okay. So I'm trying to train myself into doing things like that and be a better person and live by example. But I do call out names sometimes. Lord Farquaad. That's my friend. So I do paint in the park, and people are real nice, and they come over and they see me, and they show me good things and tell me good things, and I get to talk about them sometimes. And at the Lizard here, they have a lot of good people. So I appreciate your time, and I hope it was enjoyable. And I'm going to get off.
All right. Thank you so much. All right, my camera I don't know if it's on me or not. Is it green? I don't know. Whatever. We're going to keep things going. Need to check my list. Okay. I wanted to make sure I was going for the correct person. This person is a little bit, you're my height, right? You know, I just, make you do a little extra work, because you're my ringer tonight. Okay, I've been waiting on this guy to come back for a while now. He was hosting a Tuesday open mic, which I respect. I sent people your way, but since then your open mic has moved to Monday nights in Chillicothe. So it makes it extra special to be able to bring this ringer to my stage once again. Former performer in my showcase, the one, the only, Frank DeMint. By the way, peep his shirt. It's pretty good.
How y'all doing, leaping lizards? Yeah. I'm the oldest comic you're going to see tonight. I'm so old my back gets stiff more than my dick. I'm so old I have to lube my joints more than my dick. I am so old I used National Geographic magazine to masturbate to. Now I watch Pornhub, not to masturbate, but to reminisce. Yes, to reminisce. I started eating pussy at the age of 13. My tongue became muscle-bound. That's why I sound like this. Yeah. People hear my voice and say, bless his heart. Is he okay? And I'm okay, but it does bring up my greatest fear, and that's having a stroke on stage, and nobody notices. Is he slurring his words? Who the fuck can tell? Who the fuck can tell? My speech impairment, I don't have a speech impairment. I have a limited edition accent. Yes, only a few of us are chosen. Little known fact, Abraham had a lisp. Yeah, the chosen people weren't the Jews. It were those of us with a lisp. Yeah. What do you call a person with a lisp? A lisper? How about a group of people with lisp? Lisperers or lispitarians? Neither one sounds very good, does it? Yes, my lisp isn't a speech impairment. It's a built-in sound effect. Yeah, I'm a human spray bottle. If you're too close, we have a Gallagher show going on. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I don't mean to whistle when I talk. It's my tongue freestyling. Yeah. I tried to use Siri the other day. She thought I was trying to summon a snake. My dentist asked me if I floss. I said only when I say the word floss, and I do it twice a day. And don't get me started on birthday candles. When I blow them out, someone's calling FEMA, the CDC. They surely are. Most people leave smudges on glasses. I leave condensation. I gave an inspiration speech to a friend before a big job interview. He said it was inspiring, but also very humid. Yes. I was on a date the other night, and the girl said, "You have such a unique voice. That's lisp code for I'm trying to figure out what that last vowel was." Having a lisp is like it's like being given a microphone that only plays in stereo and spits in your face. When my S's don't just ask, they slap. When I say succulent sandwich, it sounds like I'm pressure washing a sidewalk. People say I should get speech therapy. Why would I pay anyone to change my personality? Why would I do that? I was in the U.S. Army. I had signed up to be a medical lab tech, but during induction, military intelligence, an oxymoron if I've ever heard one, wanted to talk to me. So I went to talk to them. They wanted me to go in linguistics. I'm like, what? I'm not fucking this language up bad enough? You need me to fuck up another one? And while we're at it, I don't think radio operator or air traffic controller would be good choices either. I'd kill more people than the terrorist. I certainly would. Didn't you notice I sound like the love child of Barbara Walters and Mike Tyson? Something between the bishop on Princess Bride and Barry Kripke of Big Bang Theory, and maybe a little Elmer Fudd. Where's that rascally rabbit? I really don't hear my speech impairment myself when I'm speaking, but if someone records me unbeknownst to me and plays it back, I'm like, who's that stupid motherfucker? Embarrassing as hell getting catfished by your own voice. My mother, she didn't help me out much. She named my brother Nick. I can pronounce Nick, but she named me Frank. But it could have been worse. It could have been Francis or Francisco, or worst of all, Roy. How about if my last name had been O'Reilly, Roy O'Reilly and his brother Coy? That would just been a disaster. And while I was in the U.S. Army, I finished up my bachelor's degree, and I waited till the very end to take my foreign language requirement for, well, obvious reasons. First, I thought about French. I thought that nasal sound would cover up my list. You know, bonjour, sacre bleu, rendezvous. No, that just made me more incomprehensible. Then I thought about Spanish, but then I realized I can roll a joint, both types, but I can't roll an all. It sounds something like this. Oh, sound like a velociraptor. So I took sign language. I'll show you here. If you didn't get that, that was pussy, but my hand also has a lisp. It's such a shame, And while I was, as I've gotten older, people mistake my speech impediment for an accent. And I always had thought about that in high school, because in high school, when you have a lisp and acne, you ain't getting no pussy. It's just not fucking happening. But I could have come up with a great story. Like I said, well, I'm from Transmania. It's southeast of Romania. Or major exports of dildos and pocket pussies. I'd just be beating them off. There's 3 words that I say that most people don't understand. For, world, and well. Didn't understand a single one of those fucking words, did you? And the problem is I like my steak medium well. Yeah. The waitress looked sort of confused, said, you want that well done? I said, no, I don't want to eat shoe leather. I want it red in the middle. But that didn't help out much either, did it? After a minute or two, we usually get the order right. But recently I was in a restaurant. The waitress got my order right off the bat. I was dumbfounded. I was bewildered. Then I realized I was in a Chinese restaurant. Then they served me medium well cat. Yeah. Restaurant was in Springfield. Yes, it was. There was this one time my ex-wife and I and her brothers and their wives were taking a trip down to Florida. My ex-wife was driving, and she was getting off the right side of the road and hitting those bumps going, and her brother Jeff sitting behind her next to me started laughing his ass off. She turned around and said, "What's so fucking funny, Jeff?" I looked up at her and said, "He wants me to say rumble strip. Fucking prick." Talking about pricks, who's the prick that put the S in lisp, huh? I think it was Shakespeare, the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, motherfucker. And who's the asshole over at Apple that came up with Siri, huh? I think some pothead computer geek thinking of a guy like me saying, "Siri, where is Riley White, the real White? Siri, where is Roberta's romper room and rotisserie? Siri, where is Sally's seashell, she shack, motherfucker?" I'm going to end on this one. I look like Duck Dynasty and sound like Daffy Duck. I look like Gandalf and sound like his autistic brother. I look like Jack Black and sound like Sylvester the Cat, suffering succotash. I look like Jerry Garcia and sound like him on an acid trip. I look like Ron Jeremy and sound like him with a dick in his mouth. But I can't suck my own dick, because if I could, I wouldn't be here. And I wouldn't be this fat, because I know no one could suck my dick better than me, because no one knows me better than me. That's been my time. I've been Frank the Man. You can follow me on both Facebook and Instagram. Let's bring back your host.
Yeah. Always great to have Frank the Mint in the house. All right. I just want to hear one more cheers for Frank the Mint. All right. Keep that in mind for our competition, just letting us know. So far, we only have 2 more open mic performers that are eligible for our competition. So if you're feeling froggy, go ahead and sign up for this. I do apologize to anybody, first-timers, whatnot, for bringing in a ringer. I apologize. Yes, Frank did do well on Kill Tony. So yes, he is a seasoned veteran. So Matthew, are you good? All right. So I don't know much about the next performer, because we connected tonight via social media, which makes me brings me to my next point. If you're not subscribed and not following, what are we even doing here? You need to hit that button and be notified when we go live every Tuesday. I promise next week we'll have a better internet connection. It's 2 different network brilliant minds combating each other, which different philosophies, different strokes for different folks. But we'll figure it out. I promise you. All right, so our next open mic performer, who we're going to give, enough time, whatever. So if you enjoy his performance, please, vote in the poll online, comment below. But we're going to welcome to our stage Matthew Broski.
What's going on, everybody? Am I in it? Am I in it? Cool. Normally, I'm not comfortable in a space that it's a high percentage that a white guy would yell, "Let's fucking go." But I'm a little buzzed. It's a beautiful night. My girlfriend's not here, so let's fucking go. All right. I love my girlfriend. She's great. We keep getting into the same fight over and over again. She says I'm gaslighting her, and I tell her I don't know what that even means. Emotional abuse is not illegal, just in case you guys want to notate that. She keeps wanting to go on vacation. She wants to go to Turks and Caicos. I'm like, we don't have that kind of money. You got to pick one. Turks or Caicos. That's a highbrow joke for people that don't know. Turks and Caicos, same place. People in the bag. I do love my girlfriend, though. She is my companion. Her only 2 big fears are car washes and biscuits opening. I do realize that I guess that kind of makes her sound like a Labrador, or this sounds like a Love on the Spectrum type introduction, like, "This is Michelle. Michelle loves college football and doing the dishes. Michelle hates car washes and biscuits being opened in her proximity." Anybody watch Love on the Spectrum? Great show. Great show. I think that's our reward for not saying retard anymore. because Love on the Spectrum would not have worked 20 years ago at all. Like that would have been no, yeah, it wouldn't have worked. I had a friend come in when I was watching it one time, and she summed it up perfectly. She watched 5 minutes of Love on the Spectrum, and she goes, "This feels like it's none of my business," and that's never been more accurate. My girlfriend, she's got 2 kids. It's a girl that's 13 and a boy that's 16. I don't like to say my girlfriend's kids because it sounds kind of apartment-y. I don't like to say my partner's kids because it sounds kind of gay. And I don't like to say my fiance's kids because it just gives her way too much hope. My girlfriend, she works at an immigration law firm. The kid's dad works for ICE. This is not a joke. This fall on CBS. So, of ICE? Oh, yeah. No. But I did try to ingratiate myself with her kids. The youngest boy, I knew he played Grand Theft Auto over at his dad's house for years. So when we first started dating, I was like, hey, I got Grand Theft Auto on my computer. You can play it on there. And he was, I made the mistake of making the off-color joke of saying the only thing that's unrealistic about Grand Theft Auto is that it's very unrealistic how you can strangle a prostitute and just get away with it so easily. He was incredibly surprised by that, and it turns out because he had no idea that there were prostitutes in the game Grand Theft Auto that he had been playing for 3 years. The kid, her youngest son, he did have a religious phase for a little bit, which was kind of concerning because he started leading us little notes that were pieces of scripture around our home. It was kind of, I don't feel like I got anybody here. Pieces of scripture, a teenager leaving pieces of scripture for us around our home. Very concerning. It got to the point where it was like, if there was ever some sort of school shooting, I don't feel like I could in good conscience go in front of the news and be like, we had no idea anything was going to happen. It's like, no. Once he started leaving Exodus quotes, it was like, yeah, no, it was very clear that something was very, very wrong. But he did round out now, and now he's gotten into like good older movies. So it's cool to see like a teenager watching movies I watched when I was younger. He came in the other day and he goes, have you seen Fight Club? I was like, yeah, of course I've seen Fight Club. It's a great movie. He's like, it's amazing. He's like, Tyler Durden, I love that character. He's like, no spoilers, though, because I haven't finished it. And I'm like, that's 100% a movie that you need to finish before you start like really identifying with it. That's actually really concerning. Anybody in here like hentai or is familiar with hentai? Yeah. Hentai. So I guess it's like anime porn. Not my bag, and I'm not here to yuck anyone's yum if it is your bag. No. The closest I feel like I've gotten to liking hentai is getting really hungry after I see them eat that pizza in a Goofy movie. Just that like cheese pool where it's just like, oh shit. Like that's where I can identify closely to be like, okay, I get it kind of thing. I'm going to leave you guys on this one. Did anybody watch the Star Wars show Andor? Awesome. It doesn't matter if you didn't. Before the last season of it premiered, there was an article that came out that says Star Wars finally says the R word. That got me so pumped up because I'm like, how are they going to work this in at all? Like that doesn't even, how are they going to do it? So I watched it, and I'm sad to report that at no point in time did anybody call anybody a retard. A lady did get raped though. So that was my bad for not reading the entire article. So I'm Matt Broski. Thank you so much.
All right, keep it going for Matt. Thank you for coming out, man. Appreciate you reaching out via my post. Hopefully, it proves that my social media presence actually works sometimes. So yeah, it helps me out. So our next performer, all right, just note to the people out. Oh, I just realized. Hold on. Maybe. Did I do it? Whatever. It's good enough. So our next contestant in the open mic contest is not eligible. Deemed ineligible by the review committee, but that is only because he has a vested interest in this location. So I can't pay somebody who Yeah, I'm not gonna repeat that on the internet, but all right. Yes, you are next. Well, to prepare your notes, whatever. Do you need me to fill for a minute? I can fill for a minute. I got some shit I'm working on. All right. So this is probably gonna piss off my my podcast guest, but hopefully not. No disrespect. This is just a joke and a story. So recently I got into, like I've had a troubled, like trauma-filled childhood. So, recently I've been trying to like better myself as an adult. So, I went to Amazon, I picked up one of these like bestseller novels, so I started going through it. And like this one like minor character that like I kind of attached to, he had a hard time. All right. Like he had this like real, who he thought was his best friend, who basically was just like a bully, him and this guy, he had a codependent relationship with this man. And it wasn't, reciprocal in any way. So, this bad boy, you would say, basically like made his life a living hell. Hell, he even bet the villain of the story that he couldn't, break his friendship with this character. Yeah, that bully, that tough guy kind of sounds like a bully, right? Like every villain from like an 80s, 90s fucking high school movie, right? Well, if you weren't paying attention in Sunday school, the tough guy, bully guy. Yeah, that's God. Yeah, we're talking about the Bible. My character, his name is Job. Anybody familiar with Job? Well, Job had a rough go of it. He loved, his Savior. But, he just kept getting trials and tribulations throughout his life. But I found it kind of ironic that, Job is very close to Job, lowercase. To be, full disclosure, I don't want anything to do with either of them because, it's mismanaged. I actually screwed up the joke there, but whatever. But anyway, Job is a little bit too pious for me. All right. I want to go way back that somebody that like, I feel a bit heavier, in my persona. Anybody familiar with Greek mythology? All right. Are you familiar with Sisyphus? Not to be, confused with syphilis, because, one is, a lifelong issue, has a lot of burning sensation. And the other is just a guy with a boulder. So it got me thinking, of these two people, Job and Sisyphus. What would happen if they met up in the afterlife? Like, would Job just be like, hey man, I'll push this, this rock up, up a hill for a couple centuries, it'll give me a little time off from, all the bullshit I've been dealing with. Or, would Sisyphus be like, yeah, I'll take some sores, I'll take God killing my livestock, I'll take that. Yeah, I could really use a break for a change. Or would Sisyphus, just, push that rock up to the top of the hill, look down upon Job and just say, fuck it, step aside. and just let the boulder roll down, put that motherfucker out of his misery. Splat like a pancake. And I gotta think about it, if God is up there, he's probably just eating popcorn, looking down like, I am literally omniscient. And I did not see that coming. That is true physical comedy. But enough of that. We are going to bring up our next comedian once again, Once again. Oh, now I inspired you with my syphilis, Sisyphus. But anyway, you're all right. I'm gonna check you tonight. I'm gonna check you tonight. Next week. Save it for next week. Take your notes. Yeah, but hey, we're gonna bring up one of the two true lizards. I believe in Lizard. Once again, do not vote for him, even though he's funny sometimes. Warm welcome for Michael.
So wait a minute. Is this set for tests or Buster talks out of his throat or something, because I know he's not that short. So like while everybody was talking tonight and stuff, I started thinking about, I'm like, fuck, man, I've been around for a really long time. I've been married for like almost 30 years. I've raised 4 kids, 1 gay dude. I got some pretty good material to pull from. But after tonight, I heard some stuff that, like, it's like, man, there's some experiences out there that some folks haven't actually had yet. And I'm going to start with, like, my wife. One time I went from the time where we had an act. What do we call it, you guys? Amber, what was that map? The big map that we had? Like, remember the axis, right? No, the axis. It was like, remember, it had all the maps before GPS. We'd like pull up the map. An atlas. Yes. So it's amazing how much technology has changed in just our lifetime. So my family's Gen X, and it's funny because a lot of the younger comedians tonight, they were raised by boomers, which, if you guys don't understand, there's a big difference between boomers and Gen X, because Gen X was raised by boomers. But there's a lot of that generation that I'm still not sure how they quantify or qualify or like align with different generations. And some of you younger people could probably tell me, and I'm not sure what Gen Z or Gen C or X and any of that shit is, but I do know this. I raised kids that told me that most all of their friends that they know of are raised by boomers, and how fucking weird it was to be raised by a Gen X. So I started thinking, well, what the fuck is Gen X? Are we from some other fucking civilization or something? And they call us the lost generation. Well, you know what? Maybe we went away for a little while, and started doing nerd stuff. The nerd stuff that our generation did, that people think we were lost and didn't raise a lot of kids, was because we were busy doing nerd stuff and building technology and doing some amazing shit, and started raising other people's kids. See, nobody's even listening to me. So I got some funny shit to share after 29 years of being married to my hot chick. Yeah. Who both of us are nerds, like big nerds you guys wouldn't even imagine. Like this story, but I can tell you this, the journey that I've had has some funny shit. And here's one of them. There was one time where I had all my kids and we're going to my brother's house. Now, that year, my brother's house had actually burnt down. He's a nerd too, right? So here's how nerds work, right? And he hosted our voice server. This is going back a little ways, where we would all talk to each other while we were playing video games. One night, voice server went down. The whole fucking guild and clan's like, hey, dude, where'd the voice go? I'm like, I'm calling my brother. My brother, he's got like 6 kids. That's a whole other comedy routine. But he's outside and he's like, dude, the house is on fire. And that's what's going on. I'm like, no. And he would fuck with me all the time. So like, I didn't know whether to take him seriously or not, but he's like, no, dude, really, the house is on fire. The voice server is down, and the rest of the guild was felt the same thing. Nah, he's fucking with us. No, literally his house was burning down. And that night, now he recovered because as every nerd does, if your house burns down, you tell the insurance company you had a fucking dual, like fucking SLI, NVIDIA, like the latest and greatest shit. I'm like, yeah, man, my greatest fucking system. So he got this badass system out of it, out of that house burning down. But what's funny is the next year, me and all my kids are going to my brother's house for Christmas. And we forgot where he moved to. He was still down there in the Cincinnati area, but we never really caught like what the address was. But we're all headed down there. Christmas, boom, whole family. Woo, let's go. We're going to Chris's house. And then halfway down there, all the kids are in the back. We're down there. We're headed there, and we realize we don't know actually the address because the house burned down. So we don't know actually where we're going. So my wife, I'm going to digress a little bit. Nowadays, my wife is like an amazing software engineer that manages really smart people and has done AI and built companies. And both of us have been really smart, but we both started out very poor and not very smart. Well, we didn't think we were, but we actually were. But anyway, halfway there, she says to me, we need to stop, get a map. And this moment, I thought, oh my God, this is a great moment for my kids who are generation whatever the fuck, X, Y, Z, whatever, N plus whatever you guys are doing with these variables with the generations. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure they're related to consciousness. Thank you for the flashy thing for the first time. Anyway, so we're halfway down there. My wife's like, hey, we need to stop and get a map. And I took this moment to let my kids know while we had a GPS. We have all this technology in the van. They're in the back with a fucking screen playing Xbox and shit. We went that far, and my wife is saying, pull over, let's get a map. So this is the shit that comes down because we don't know the address. Otherwise, we would plug it into the GPS. But somewhere in my wife's brain, and she's amazing, she thought if we pull over to the gas station, old school maps would have a map to Chris's house. Like there'd be an arrow that say, this is where you get to Chris's house. So in that moment, all my kids got to see what they think are brilliant, smart, nerd parents think that you're going to stop and get a map and throw a hole through some futuristic AI. In that map, it's going to say, here's where Chris lives. So just so you guys know, doesn't matter what fucking technology you got out there, if you don't know where you're going, nothing's going to help you to get there. So you got to have an idea of where the fuck it is, at least a direction of where the hell you're going, because there's no map that's going to go, hey, it's right here. Here's where you got to go. Anyway, I love you guys. Keep listening to yourselves. Listen to your voice that has no sound. It doesn't resonate with air. I love you guys.
All right. Are there any other brave souls out there tonight? I see some people that came in regulars. Kendra, are you signing up tonight? Kendra, are you signing up tonight? Here. Wuss. Anyway. All right. So you're good. I can bullshit. So no, we're good. We're good. But if you do have a favorite performer tonight, vote for them in the chat. We do have some votes in the chat already. I'm not going to spoil who, but we will do a live in-person vote at the end to see who is, the winner of the $25 gift card, care of Bailey Digital Media. Psh, that's me. I'm not only Buster Chestnut. I'm also Bailey Digital Media. Are we about ready? All right. And I'm going to let you do your thing. I'm going to take a quick break. And, just let me know when you need me to queue up that one thing for you. Yeah, I will. For sure. I got to fix the mic cable. Hold on. I ain't trying to make you trip or anything. All right. Okay. I appreciate that. All right. Are you ready? Okay. So our final open mic performer for the evening. Please welcome my friend and our friend of Leaping Lizards, the one, the only, Alika.
Yes. So I was recently made fun of in this very bar by a man who said, Alika, do you not have any idea how to use the microphone? And I say to him, sir, if I had the faintest idea how to use the microphone, do you think I would be fucking it up this badly every time I get on stage? That's right, I would not. Oh, excuse me, I have the worst allergies today. Oh, God, I'm sorry. Yes, my name is Alika. I would love to connect with everyone. Instagram. And I am debating right now whether I should start with some advice I've developed for living in the third world, or if I should just go for ever since time began, people have been comparing how different dicks fit them. Because that's a piece I've been working on I'm going to audition it at the Children's Theater of Columbus. They said, Alika, find an entertaining way to get the facts to the people. Get to the facts to the people, but make it engaging. Make it funny, they said. I'm sorry, did I say I was auditioning that for the Children's Theater of Columbus? It's actually for the Children's Theater of Akron. I'm sorry, I know that is correctly pronounced Crackren. Some people say it's for the butt crack. Some people say it's for crack the drug. Most people say it's for both. I'm kidding. I love you people of Akron. It's just your city that's the problem. I'm kidding. I actually do love Akron, and that is only one of the things that's wrong with me. See, some people say Alika can't write good bait and switch ha-ha funnies. She's more of a storyteller. She can't write good bait and switch ha-ha funnies. Well, I proved tonight that I can write bad to mediocre ones. Thank you. I appreciate that. Absolutely. I can write bad to mediocre ones. But no, at normal times, I would not have to say this, but no, this is not a song for children. We are apparently not in normal times, so I do need to say that. So I'd like to start, though, by addressing a question people ask me all the time. They say, Alika, what happened to your face? Because I have this recurring rash above my eyebrows. And I know due to the photorealism of my art, it's like, oh my God, wow, you're right there. Yeah, you probably assume this is exactly how it happened, right? But this is an artist rendering. It may or may not have happened exactly like this. I just wanted to look sharp. I wanted to be on point up here on stage. Where did I go wrong? Well, here's the thing. When you get a cactus finds your face, people ask you great questions like, did you try to get them out when it first happened? And to which I reply, should I have? And if so, why? Why did nobody tell me this at the time? All right, before I continue, I just want to give the audience a warning because, sometimes they say to me things like, Alika, you scared and confused everyone. You over-committed to the bit and you lost the audience. You lost everyone. No one laughed, Alika. Well, I say, I did not lose everyone. Some people laughed. Oh, but they were right. I overcommitted to the bit, and I lost the audience. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, it is on there. Now my shame lives on forever on the internet. No, here's the thing. I lived with my grandparents a lot growing up. And my grandparents, they loved me very much. I spent all summer with them. I spent many months with them at a time. They loved me very much, but they also dearly loved day drinking. They did. So they put me in acting class, all day long, all summer long. And before you say to me, oh, Alica, it sounds like your grandparents didn't love you very much at all. Well, obviously they love me a great deal. Otherwise, they would have had me stay home and watch their day drinking, right? Yeah, do the math, people, do the math. I told my dad that joke, and he actually laughed. He laughed. He said, that's funny because it's true, Alica. It's funny because it's true. Yeah, it's okay. He can say that. He can say that. The statute of limitations has run up a long time ago on childhood neglect, so he can say that. I'm kidding. My grandparents always took much better care of me than my parents did. But yes, the acting classes, they were too good. They were too good because now I get up here and I bomb on stage. People don't know that I'm using a dramatic acting technique called making your laugh sound like a cry. They said, Alica, you acted sad so convincingly. You acted angry so convincingly. The whole audience got scared and frightened, and they didn't laugh. They said, Alica, you can't go. You went full Sam Kinison. You went full Sam Kinison on the audience. They said, you can't go full Sam Kinison on the audience, not without a warning. Not without a warning. They said, you're a woman, and it contrasts so starkly with your normal, calm demeanor, right? And of course, because I grew up mostly with him, I grew up almost half my childhood without a TV, I said, I don't know who that is. I'm very bad with pop culture. Then I said, thank you for showing me a picture, because now I definitely do know who that is. I remember something about that round, angry, round-faced man, but I will have to watch more Sam Kinison and get back to you. And then I said, yes, that comparison is excellent. And that advice is fantastic. Thank you. So this is your warning. All right. Yes, I do use a technique called making your laugh sound like a cry up here. And look, I'm not an expert in acting, and I've only been doing comedy for about 4.5 months. But I'm just going to wager a guess that is a slightly different technique than maybe they used in Schindler's List, for example. So a slightly different dramatic acting technique. Just a guess. Just a guess. So yes, I have been working on this piece ever since time began. People have been comparing how different dicks fit them. I see some smiles. Get some giggles on this. These are facts, people. These are facts. I did not say all people, but people have been doing this. Look, I'm an anthropologist. That's the study of human beings. These are facts. It's not nice to laugh at facts. I'm kidding. That's why I came here, to get you to laugh at my facts. So yes, here's the thing. I lied to a man in Wisconsin. I lied to a man in Wisconsin, and now I can never go back to the whole state. I can never go back to the whole state. The thing is, he had the most amazing cock I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like it in the wild. Never seen anything like it outside of porn. Yeah, and the thing, he obviously wasted his life on a career he enjoyed or whatever. Yeah, but God, he said, Alica, we had so much fun. I had so much fun. Next time, can I put it in hole 2? And I said yes, but I didn't mean to lie. I didn't mean to lie. It was just wishful thinking. It was just wishful thinking. The thing is, it barely fit in hole 1. It hurt hole 1. It barely fit in hole 1. And now I've lied to him, and I can never go back to the whole state. It's a shame, because I love fresh Wisconsin cheese. I love cheese. God, it's just like that song goes, If only that nice man were trans, I'd go back to Wisconsin. Best to buy modular genitals, adjust the size for both your holes. If only that nice man were trans, I'd go back to Wisconsin. Trans dudes care about your clit. They never use too big a dick. They're not going to do that to you. They've never used too big a dick. If only that man's giant cock fit in me, I'd go back to Milwaukee. Trans guys care about your holes. They never buy giant strap-on dildos. That's right, they care. They're not gonna do that to you. If only that man's Johnson fitting me, I'd eat fresh Wisconsin cheese. Trans men screw without semen keeps you safe from Republican demons. Or a taste of the euphemism version. Stop. Sorry. Stop. Don't sing. Okay, fair. I will stop my song. Fair. All right. Well, this is not what I actually hoped to be including Lizard Blues, and this is not what I was hoping to do for that. But this is just something else I've been working on. A friend of mine's going to play this for me. It is a song. Yes, people say to me, Alec, have you noticed when you don't do, men say to me, have you noticed when you don't do your weird poetry that you get more laughs? And I say, am I supposed to notice things about the audience? I only ever record myself because I love the sound of my own voice. Well, I did grow up without a TV, and I grew up in a third world country, actually the country that the word banana republic came from, the country of Honduras. Is one of the poorest countries in the world. And I did not have a TV. We barely had electricity and running water there. And recently I've been at a lot of open mics, and we have a lot of people asking questions like, what's going to happen if they start watering down our gas? What's going to happen, if we keep giving more and more money to the rich and we get less and less every year? What's going to happen if we become like a third world country? And I have some help for you. So what people don't realize about watered down gas is that watering down your gas, that is, of course, highway robbery, which I depict this way. Highway robbery. But it is also, you notice this is a highway robbery, right? I don't know if you can see from far away, I didn't get to finish it very well, but yes, highway robbery. That is watered down gas is highway robbery. But it is also highway strategery and highway canary. So I don't know if you can tell the canary, it got a little too stoned. And we have, of course, the game of Risk here being driven by a rook in the game of chess, right? Because I know it's hard to see from far away. I will make this better. And why do I say this? Because the question is not, what do I do if they water down my gas? The question is, what do I do if I've driven 40 miles out of my way looking for gas, and there is still no gas at any of the gas stations? And then a family says to me, hey, we're not going to eat lunch for the next month, but we'll sell you this crappier gas for our little moto taxi business. And the question is, how much more are you going to pay them than what they ask? That's the question. But the thing about watering down your gas, has anyone ever watered down their parents' liquor in the freezer? All right. So what happens when you go too far with it? Well, it freezes, right? Because the liquor's not supposed to freeze. Right. How do they find out, though? Because the liquor freezes, right? Liquids stop doing the right thing when you water them down. So it makes your parents more likely to steam and combust. That's right. But if you put it in your gas tank, it actually steams, and that stops the combustion. All right. I'm working on some pictures to depict this. But why is it highway robbery, obviously? Highway strategy, too, because you know who has gas when no one else has gas? The gas station that watered down their gas, right? So when that's the only gas station that has gas, you know you're in trouble. That's how it's a canary. Sorry, I've just worked on these. I have not actually worked on this as much. I did want to say, though, about my song before, look, it's possible, like people say, that my cactus injury has sharpened my dislike of taking pricks to the face. So maybe I wrote it because of that. Thank you. I got a laugh out of that. Thank you. I'm sorry to bring you such terribly worked on material. I just finished these chalkboards now. Usually I would bring you something much more entertaining, but I appreciate you having me. Do you want me? Well, they said it's not rezzing, so do you want me to sing? I'll skip it. You want to end with it? All right, we'll sing the song. Before this, the last time I played music in public, I was in 7th grade. My 35-year-old accompanist, he blew it big time. We bombed big time in the small country of Honduras in the city of San Pedro Sula. because there was, the minister of culture, the Honduran minister of culture was there. And my accompanist, he's an adult. He freaked the fuck out. We bombed. And you know what they say? Once you've bombed in front of a bigwig in San Pedro Sula, you might as well get on stage and try to do hula, Alika. Try to do hula, Alika, which you're real bad at, because it's never going to get any better than that for you. Shit! Any worse than that? God, I jinxed myself again. Oh, God. Yeah. And I was young a while ago. I got a very cheap trip to Mexico. By doing volunteer work, I took the public bus a lot. There was a boy who came on there, asked for money, and then he would start singing. We all paid him to leave immediately. It has always been my dream that someone would pay me to leave any establishment that quickly to make me stop singing, because he could not carry a tune in a briefcase. And you're about to find out that neither can I. But here we go. Thank you. Sounds good. I appreciate you putting up with the... I hear it. A little louder? I can't. No one else can hear it. Can you start me over so I can hear where we are in the music? Yeah, I gotta go from the beginning, or else I won't have any shot at coming in. A little louder, please. Thank you. I appreciate you indulging me in this ridiculous song. Let us put cis and trans together, see which one is better. Some say cis, but I say trans. Trans men run the bedroom like a puppet show. It ain't me, it's the people, they say. Trans folks leading society astray, but I say, in bed today, trans men are better in every way. That's right, modular dick gets best fit. Modular dick gets best fit. Modular dick, best fit. Best fit in both of your holes, that's right. Best to buy modular genitals. Adjust the size for both of your holes. If only that nice man were trans, I'd go back to Wisconsin. Trans dudes care about your clit. They never use too big a dick. If only that man's giant cock fit me, I'd go back to Milwaukee. It ain't me, the people, they say. Trans folks leading society astray, but I say, in bed today, trans men are better in every way. That's right, trans men are better. That's right, trans men are better. That's right, trans men are better than you, and that's right. No one can help being only born with one size penis. We can't help the faults that we're born with. We can't help that. We're going on to ever since time began. People have been comparing how different dicks fit them. Since time began, people comparing how different dicks fit them, and I say, in this world today, give it up for the trans man. It ain't me. The people, they say, trans folks leading society astray, but I say, in bed today, trans men are better in every way. That's right, trans men are better. That's right, trans men are better. That's right, trans men are better in bed, and that's right. Trans dude care about your holes. Never use giant strap-on dildos. If only that man Johnson fit me, I'd go back. Excuse me. If only that man Johnson fit me, I'd eat fresh Wisconsin cheese. Trans dude screw without semen. Keep you safe from Republican demons. I'm sorry, or trans men's crew ain't got no semen. Keeps you safe from Republican scheming. We all know that's a reference to bombing of boats, so the euphemism version. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. No more political stuff. I'm sorry. We'll stop. All right, my apologies. I appreciate everyone indulging me. I will not come back and do this song again. Sorry to misjudge the crowd, but thank you very much. Appreciate it. Everyone listening has been very kind to not yell at me and get me off the stage. Thank you for not throwing tomatoes. I understand. I won't do it again. No worries.
All right, here. All right, so we have reached the pinnacle of our week 3 road to Lizard Palooza, which is a competition. The winner tonight gets. Are we good? Michael, do you see my like my little backpack? Nope, backpack. Little backpack. Well, yes. While we wait, it might be on the chair. Yeah, it's my fuck it. It's late in the evening. It's my second scrotum. It's my second scrotum. I thought oh no. All right. I'll have to find the envelope, the official envelope somewhere. It's not where I thought it was. But our week 3 winner gets a $25 gift card to the Leaping Lizard, care of Bailey Digital Media, and our executive producer, patron of the arts, Steve, which we got to do our quintessential Steve cheers. So at the count of 3, everybody yell Steve as loud as you can. These tables are empty for now, but the mythical Steve, our executive producer, is going to be in-house on June 16th for the finals. So if you want to meet the mythical Steve and buy him a drink, you should do that on the 16th. He will be here in person. So to honor Steve, we're going to 1, 2, 3, and then Steve as loud as you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3, Steve! We appreciate you, Steve. Okay, so we are down to the nitty-gritty. Once again, Michael is not eligible. So even though he did great this evening, all right, even though he's ineligible, everybody that had, an enjoyable time by Michael on the mic tonight, put your hands together. All right. That's respectable, Michael. That's respectable. You're putting your time in. I appreciate it. Okay, so I believe that let me grab the sign-up sheet. I cannot believe I actually did that by myself. Congratulations to Buster. All right. I'm the only one congratulating myself. All right. So the people that are eligible for voting, and I need everyone's attention just for maybe like 2 minutes. Promise. There's still people talking. Who is not paying attention to me? Attention, please. Attention, please. We're going to have some official voting. I need your help. You're even in the running. So, all right. We're about to vote. All right. Once again, Michael cannot be voted for. So even if you thought he was the best, don't vote for him. It's a wasted vote. So I saw at least one vote online for Sam Gibbs. Okay. So that adds some weight because I prefer the online presence, even though the stream was not probably top notch tonight, and I do apologize. But I add some weight to that. So Sam Gibbs already has one very big vote. All right. Does everybody in the bar who thinks that Sam Gibbs should win the $25 gift card tonight? Let's hear a round of applause. Okay. With the added weight of the online voting, Sam Gibbs is currently in first place. I mean, we just voted on him first, but regardless, you're still in first place, Sam. Okay. So our next contestant that we can vote on is a first-time open mic comedy performer here at Leaping Lizard. She's done it once, twice before, 3 times before. All right. So be kind. What did we think of Elizabeth? Ah, hey, you can holler. All right. I'm going to give it up. I'm going to give up the respect for cheering as loudly for yourself as you possibly could, because nobody is a better cheerleader than yourself, right? All right. I respect it. Okay. So, all right. How about the ringer? How about the ringer that we brought in tonight, who once, killed Tony in a Kill Tony session? Round of applause for Frank DeMint. Okay. All right. So the newbie who I just met earlier tonight, Matthew Broski. All right. Hey, I appreciate you coming out. Come back next week. I don't think you won. But I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I'm glad you came out. If you need a beverage before you leave, let me know. All right. And our last person who is eligible for the open mic, competition, our friend Alika. Okay. Elizabeth, I'm sorry. I did appreciate your set. I appreciate your enthusiasm. I hope you come back next week. All right. I know. I appreciate you, and I'm proud that you came up to the mic. All right. And Matthew, I'm sorry. I'm gonna eliminate you. I appreciate you coming out. Once again, come back next week. Bring your crowd. All right. Bring a cheering section. Share the live stream. All right. I do weight the live, the votes on there a little bit heavier than, maybe in person. Just saying. Okay, Michael can't. He's not eligible. All right, just race him off. All right. All right. Since we get a little bit of weight, from the online voting, we're gonna do an in-person voting to, narrow it down. All right. So if you thought between these two people, if you thought that this person was better, I want to hear as loud as you can. Alika. Okay. I will. We are voting. All right. And the other person who, is eligible to compete. All right. Anybody who wants to vote for Frank DeMint? Alika, I'm sorry. You got eliminated slightly. Just a little bit. All right. We're down to 2 possible competition winners for a spot in the finals, which is going to be on June 16th, which is a Tuesday, leading up to, so make sure that your schedule is available for the 19th through the 21st at some point. We got band changes. We're gonna have a grand old time with food by Gallows. If anybody's familiar with Gallows, great food. Music by a ton of talented musicians who have played here and played many other places. So, and then some comedy thrown in. Yeah, we'll kind of promote that. All right. So for the potential to compete for that, we have 2 contestants. All right. Who votes for Frank DeMint? All right. And then who votes for Sam Gibbs? Sam. I hate to say it, brother. Don't hate me. But Frank DeMint wins. Week 3. All right. I'm going to present. It's not actually a golden ticket. It's a white gift card. And a note on my schedule. But thank you, Frank. I appreciate you coming out. $25 to Leaping Lizard and a spot on the 16th of June. All right. If you want to say anything.
Thank you, everyone. I'll be back on the 16th and give you some more of my jokes.
All right. Everybody give it up for our showcase performers tonight. All right, I'll go through them in case you missed them. Josh, Tess, and Ricky. It's the younger crowd. I don't know. I was trying something different tonight. Now you all right. And give it up for everybody that signed up for the open mic. We appreciate you coming out, competing. If you didn't win this week, always come back next week. I know. And all right. Well, write it down, prepare, and we're gonna have an awesome non-eligible but very funny open mic performance from Amber next week. So come back. Hopefully I'll get my technical difficulties out of the way. It should be better next time. Stick with this. And all right, this is way back at the beginning of the evening. Make sure to check out Ryan McGraw. He is a 40-plus-year-old boxer. Real good friend of mine, and I feel like you should support him. He's got some fights coming up in July. What? I'm not. But anyway, so my friend Ryan has some fights. He has 3 fights in a week in July, which is crazy. One in Canton area, one in Cleveland, and I think one in that state up north. I thought I heard it was in Ann Arbor, but a lot of things go in Ann Arbor. I don't judge. I just hear she's a little loose. Anyway, I am going to shut down the evening with my outro like I always do. But real quick before we go, I need a little, narcissistic call and response. Just, I like hearing my name. So when I, do a countdown and say my name, Buster, I want to hear Buster as loud as you can from the crowd. Are you ready? Michael, are you ready? All right, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then do that. And then I want you to hit that button and then hit the outro. All right? 1, 2, 3, Buster. All right, hit that outro. Have a great night. No? No? Did we turn music on before my... It just should just hit.
No, it wasn't set. Remember, because you canceled it.
This one right here.
This one?
Monster Bowl.
Really?
Yep.
Monster
Yep.
Bowl?
Yeah. I like Monster Bowl. All right, now hit the play outro.
What up, everybody? Let's go! Flipping through the packs, chasing down that 101, yeah. Searching for the grail till the morning sun comes. Buster! Hit that monster pull, an impossible play. Change the whole damn game in a major way. We hit that monster pull, an impossible play. Change the whole damn game in a major way. Whoa!